Hello and a huge warm welcome. My name is Lorraine Davies and I am the host of this summit, The Expansion, Unleash Your Infinite Potential and Reclaim the Power Within. I am so delighted to introduce you to our guest speaker today, Dr. Indika. So Dr. Indika, a former NHS GP and functional medicine doctor with 18 years experience as a medicine doctor, is on a quest for a human-centered, holistic approach, which has led her to appreciate that conscious movement of the body provides a powerful magnetic portal into personal growth, healing, and transformation. I am so delighted to have you with me today, Indika, because the work you do is so potent and so powerful. And I think it's something that is largely not known about. So it's honestly such a delight that we get to have this conversation, and not only have this conversation, but that at the end of today's session, you're all going to have a chance to experience this work for yourself. So you're going to want to stay tuned right up to the end, not to miss anything. But Indika, hello and a huge warm welcome.
Oh, hello, Lorraine. Thank you so much. I'm so blessed, honored, and excited to be here. And you have created an amazing summit. I've taken a sneak peek at some of the speakers that you've had here. So a real honor to be able to spend this time with you and share what is really so powerful that I have found that has transformed my own life, but also lives of others, which is what we're here to do, to help us expand and feel that expansion.
Oh, so absolutely. And you know what, you've led us beautifully into where we're going to go for this first question, because I think one of the most powerful things that we can do is to share our stories, because in sharing our own stories, it helps everyone here watching. It's that relatability. It's so nice to see someone and you go, oh my goodness, that sounds so similar to my journey. So I would love for you to share with us a little insight into your experience, how you came to be where you are now. And really the crucial piece is your expansion. What has contributed to your expansion?
Oh my gosh. So where I am now and looking back of where I was, I couldn't have predicted any of this. So that's the first thing, because I think people can, see where you're at and then make assumptions that, oh, she's got it all together, she's had it easy. Some people might think that, but so the very start of my journey was when I was deeply unhappy with where I was at. So I was working as a GP in the NHS. I just had my first child, so was navigating the the journey of motherhood and working at the same time, and I was just deeply unhappy. I felt like this can't be it. This can't be it. I don't enjoy what I'm doing for my work. I'm not enjoying my journey as a mother. What do I do? So I was really stuck, lost, knowing deeply that I just didn't want to live this life, like this life that I had. I thought like training as a doctor, devoting all that time and energy was like, this was my path. But at the time, I recall when my daughter was just a few months old and I had just gone back to work with my husband, a conversation of like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And he was like, well, what are you passionate about? What else could you do? And I was like, I don't know. So that was 10 years ago. That was me 10 years ago. And I just didn't have any other option. So just to kind of give you a bit of the reality of where things can start, and hopefully those who are watching this may relate to that. But my portal, my little opening, was as a mother when India was 6 months old, and I just naturally, intuitively thought, well, okay, so what she's now starting to eat is important. So that led me down the path of like, oh, food. There's so much power in food and science behind food. And you'd be surprised as a medical doctor, you'd think, well, surely you knew that. But that's not how we've been trained. That's another discussion. But that led me down the path of really starting to understand and play with nutrition and seeing the impact, noticing how that made me feel, and opened up the door to discovering a different type of medicine, which I thought, which was functional medicine, lifestyle medicine, and the power within that. And I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I thought, this is it. I found it. So a real kind of turning point, a real opening of like, this is what I was meant to do. But it wasn't. That was a stepping stone. That was a stepping stone on my journey. I know this now, but not then. And so I started to put all my energy in trying to like shift career-wise and train and all the rest of it so that I could start to do functional medicine. And long story short, fast forward a few years, it wasn't it. There was still something deeply missing. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I felt like sort of like my body was responding with this isn't right. This isn't you. This is not what lights you up. But again, I didn't know what else I could do because I was like, right, okay, I'm doing this medicine thing, functional medicine thing, lifestyle medicine thing, very effective. It's very powerful, but it wasn't my thing. I know this now. And then another opening. I saw on Facebook, I saw a good friend of mine, a good dear friend of mine saying that she dances every day. Now that lights me up. I know that lights me up because when I was in medical school, I joined the dance team, the Latin American dance team, and started to really like, I was spending more time in the dance studio than in the library learning about medicine. So I knew that was it really, that lit me up. My husband says that when you're dancing, it brings the best out of you. So I just knew that I didn't even have to like say a word or have a thought. It was like, oh, I was curious. I was really curious. And that just opened up this beautiful space of dancing that I've never really knew to be possible, where it's a tool, it's a modality, it's a way into connecting deeply with yourself. And for me, so conscious dance, it woke me up from a really deep sleep. So I was awake and living my life and following and doing all the things and working very hard, but feeling unhappy. But this was again, it took several months for me to realize what was missing after all these years was my soul. My spiritual connection. I never had that up until discovering, just like through moving my body and moving my body freely. I mean, that was eye-opening in and of itself, because even me, you would think, oh, well, she loves to dance, she can dance, she used to dance, do this technical dancing, Latin American dancing, so that's like a walk in the park for her. Of course she's going to love that. But even for me to really step into this feeling of freedom and like throwing the rule book out of the space and just really freaking going for it and being loud and like having a play with your body. What does that feel like to really, and so even like at the start of my conscious dance journey, I noticed this. I noticed like, why am I not like it's a muscle that it's a pathway, it's a neural pathway that, as with everything new to us on a conscious and an unconscious level, it's going to feel, that there may be resistance that comes up. There may be noticing of, oh, this is not as easy as I thought it would be, but I'm going to, keep going with that. And I did. But through my conscious dancing journey, it opened my soul. I sort of started to connect with what was important to me, what lit me up, like wholeheartedly opened out my heart space. This wasn't a light switch moment, but it was like, it's something without explanation. It's like, I've just got to do this. It was this nudge, all these nudges. And so I really enjoyed it. I dived into it. I trained up to be able to hold space in this way, and started to also, put it into practice. And I think that was really key. So unlike in medical school and just kind of on the whole learning front, we can learn and accumulate lots of concepts and knowledge and, understand it theoretically, understand it cerebrally. But with this work, it's about really feeling it to your cells, like in your body. What does it feel like to be disconnected? What does it feel like when your heart feels expanded? How does it feel? How can you actually, and this is what I'm noticing here, is that how can I in this moment create how I would like to feel in this moment? That is powerful. That is just, we have, it takes work, it takes dedication, it takes commitment. But when you make that choice to really step into what feels right in here, and only you know that, once you have cleared, and this is the journey where you sort of clear the old from inside, not just your external world, but inside, you sort of let it go, clear it. And you can do that relatively easy through conscious dance. This is what I one of the many things I love about it, is that you don't have to talk about it, you don't have to think about it. Trusting and enjoying moving your body. And sometimes even that is a journey for people in and of itself. But when you get there, and then you're in this energy of like, right, okay, I don't feel quite, I feel a bit scattered. I feel, we all feel like that. How can I bring it? How can I bring myself, with all that is going on, all that I'm feeling, all that I'm experiencing, how can I bring it in and shift it in a moment? And it takes a few seconds, a few moments, one song I have found to be able to do that. And that is just life-changing. It changes your day and it changes your life, because the more you're able to do that, guess what happens? Things unfold for you. Things open up for you. You start to notice everything that you have right now. That is good. That is for you. And even in the not so good, this is what I was thinking earlier today about the mindset of expansion. Having you know, really trusting everything that is in your life, trusting what you have within you, and being open to noticing what lands for you is like, right, this is not quite this. I'm feeling quite emotional about this, or I've been triggered, or this doesn't feel right, or this actually feels quite scary. Just having that, approaching each situation with this mindset of expansion. What can I learn from this? Why is this affecting me? Why is it showing up like this? Like, this is not what I want. That's feedback. That's feedback from the beautiful energy source, universe, whatever you believe in, of, right, this is your next step here. How can you dance, move, respond to this, rather than let it kind of cycle and repeat?
Oh my goodness, so much wisdom. Like, literally, I'm like just like hanging on every word. So much wisdom. And I think what I would love to highlight for anybody watching, so I feel very grateful, very lucky to have been introduced to conscious dance through Indika. So when I first started experiencing conscious dance, what I noticed is that, you know, we can talk about it like we are today, but there's things that you cannot put into words that you experience when you do this kind of practice. And I think what I'd really love to highlight is, you know, there are so many different modalities you can tap into to have this connection with self. But I know that when we've talked about this before, one of the objections as a busy mom, as a business owner, like the objections to not to doing this inner work or not doing that is like, oh my God, I just don't have time. And what I'd really love to draw out from what you've just said is like, you know, yes, it takes commitment and dedication and consistency. It's about meeting with yourself every day, dancing with yourself every day, but that you can change something in a moment, in a song. You can come back to self. And I think that's what I would really love to kind of like bring in and kind of focus on in this moment, is that is really, really magical, because you can shift your state in a moment. You can release emotions that you've bottled up in a moment. You can because you're just creating that space for yourself, and you're coming back to yourself in the moment. And I think when we talk about something like expansion, you know, often people think about what they want out there in the world, right? We talk about, you know, they want more money or more success or more joy or whatever it is, but it's all stuff out here. But actually, from what you've shared in your story so far, is that I really want to highlight and really want to kind of draw on, and for us to like look at further, is that in coming back to yourself, in doing an embodiment practice such as a conscious dance practice, in really coming in, what you've actually done first and foremost is shifted your perspective on the outside stuff. Like, I know that you said, you know, being able to feel more and experience more joy in the outside world, being able to be more grateful for where you are and what you're currently experiencing. And I think this gratitude piece and this joy piece and this inner feeling piece is where we really we can begin to recognize our power. Because if we know that everything out there is a reflection of what's going on in here, then this is where the inner work starts. How can I create space to feel these things now, regardless of what's going on in my external world, right? And that's what's so powerful. So I'd love to I know we're going to have a beautiful practice from you in a minute, but I would just like to have some more questions. So so I would love to, you know, kind of playing a little bit of the devil's advocate here, because, you know, there's going to be lots of different people watching this. Everyone here I know is open-minded, is curious, is growth orientated, because otherwise they would not be in this space. But if somebody's sitting here right now and going, yeah, well, I do breath work, I do meditation, I have these practices already in place, but dancing just feels a little bit like a little bit on the periphery, or like, how is that gonna help me with this work, or how do I even begin? I would love for us to talk about that piece. If somebody's coming at this, maybe you loved to dance as a kid, right? I love dancing, and that there's always been that part of you, but as an adult, it's something that you've lost touch with. You're going, but like, how do I do this? How do I begin a conscious dance practice?
Great question. So here's the thing. In terms of just conceptualizing dance, what conscious dance, moving your body to music in the very simplest form, is that it's in our DNA. We like, our children are our greatest teachers and advocates and examples of how we're wired. We're wired to move. If you watch children, particularly young children, so under the age of 5, you put some music on, they go for it. That is how we were born into this world as human beings. And how children can be sort of fast reactive, right? If they're like not happy with something, they have an outburst. That is how we are designed. We're designed to move. We're designed to be loud, right? And wild. And so that is where we're starting from. Now, what happens is that through going to school and, being in society, is that we can't all be loud and free and like wild and dancing and moving freely. Like, that freedom doesn't quite work. It's not conducive. So over our lifetime, just from society, we're taught to, we learn we've got to sit still and be quiet most of the time. Don't speak up, right? And then layered on top of that is our own personal experience through childhood and life. And that can go deep. That's where our limiting beliefs about ourselves originate from. And so with that experience, that lived experience, we don't even connect to the fact that we don't move as freely as we were born to. So how to start is to start with this in mind. If what I just shared resonates, it's like got you curious of like, well, you're here to expand yourself, then going through the process of your process and taking the next step and experiencing it, putting the music on, put your favorite song on. Okay, you can demonstrate to yourself how you feel. Put your favorite song on that really gets you, lights your fire, sing as loud as you like, and dance like no one's watching. That would be my first very simple, practical thing that every single one of us can do. One song. And notice how you feel afterwards. That's a little sense of the power. And like with anything new that feels maybe too stretching, because you're expanding, you're stepping into the uncomfortable. It's about how can I be consistent with it? So just to relate back to my own personal journey through conscious dance, I trained and was starting to offer long sessions, 60 to 90-minute sessions on a weekly basis. And I reflected on it dawned on me that I still wasn't dancing every day, which was what got me hooked in the first place. It was like, I'm a very practical person. I'm a mum of 3 and running a business. I haven't got a lot of time. No time, no time. And what evolved was that I managed to condense down the experience into a very manageable 10 to 15-minute practice. 2 songs. So that is how I have been able to embed it into my life, something that I make a commitment to. So I dance Monday to Thursday at 9:30 in the morning at the moment. Currently, I've just shifted the time, but and I've created and built a community who also dances with me. So we have that tribe, that energy that comes through online and helps hold me accountable and helps the other women who dance with me accountable, where we're just like, let's go, let's do this. Or even if we're not feeling that higher energy, we're feeling a bit meh. There've been days where I've like, I really need this today. I need the medicine today of movement. Let's see where it takes us. And sometimes we go slow, sometimes we go fast, sometimes we mix it up. So that is the no time kind of thing that comes up, the not excuse, but the reason why I can't do this every day. I've kind of cracked it. I have cracked it. And it is, and when you, here's the beautiful thing. We talked about the power within you and activating the power within you. When you make that commitment of doing a little bit every day, and I'm not saying actually every day, I'm saying most days. For me, it's 4 days a week. It's been the sweet spot. Oh, your body responds. Your life responds simply by you making that commitment and being in that energy of this beautiful opportunity to be completely present. And so practices like breath work, beautiful practices like breath work, meditation, journaling, affirmations, gratitude, I have found, and I bring it into the conscious dance experience. And so you're like getting so much in one experience, and where you're out of your head and you're not thinking or saying it, you're feeling it. You're really feeling it. And the music that we use and dance to is so activating. It's so medicinal. So it's a chance to connect on a deeper level. When you do this consistently on a deeper level, go in and then come out and conquer your day. So you can feel, you can feel, I really feel that. And I feel really emotional. I'm feeling my tears. And I feel held, I feel safe. I'm in it, because you have to feel it to heal it. I'm gonna breathe and maybe gift myself a walk around the block just to fully embrace what's coming up. And then, okay, it's a message. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Absolutely. I think the other thing that I would love to kind of, because there's so many aspects to what you do, and in terms of the experience, and obviously everybody's going to get a chance to have an experience of it in a minute, but I definitely think that something that's really potent about the work, if we're coming back to this theme of like unleashing your potential, I know particularly with a lot of my clients, they can spend a lot of time in their head, and obviously with this practice is straight away we're sinking into the body. And there's that, I kind of feel like the work that you do, as people are more consistent with it, as they really embed it as part of their personal growth practice, that over time what happens is that the practice evolves for every single person who's doing practice. And I definitely think there's this kind of this point where it's like there's kind of almost like a tipping point, because there's this, you've gone through this, right? The first thing is getting into your body, like listening to your body, moving how your body is being called to move, like intuitive movement. And then there's this next piece of like noticing the feelings that are coming up and creating space to be able to feel and to allow those feelings to be heard and to be felt and to be released. And then I think there's also this beautiful piece that happens as well, which I definitely found, in terms of the conscious dance with the sacral work around conscious dance, coming to play, like the playful approach, that when you create this time to play with yourself, like play in the energy of in your being in your body, that what also happens, and I think leaders in particular and visionaries could be really excited by this, is that it's when the divine inspiration drops in, right? Because you're not in your head, you're in your body. And I think when you're moving, this is the thing that I kind of want to highlight just before we start moving, because I know I could keep you here all day, but this piece that there's so many aspects to this work that you can move through the more kind of consistent you are with the practice, and the more you choose to listen to the callings of your soul and to show up even when you don't feel like it, to move how you're being called to move rather than how you think you should move, right? So as you lean into all of these pieces of it, there's so much potential for expansion in how you feel, your ability to hold space for yourself, your ability to be a channel for divine inspiration for yourself and for your business. There's so many beautiful facets to it. So my gorgeous soul, before I keep you talking any longer, I know that you have a beautiful practice that you're going to share with us today. So whilst I unpin myself and mute my microphone and make you highlighted, I'll let you kind of get your music ready. And if you'd like to share with everyone today, like kind of what they need to do.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So first thing, this is not my choice of music, because this is going to the masses. I have to be very conscious. We have to be very conscious of the music that we use, so that it doesn't infringe on copyright. So just to kind of flag up, the music isn't like the music that I use, but we're going to make it work, and we're going to have a great experience. So what do you need to do? So this is about 10-15 minutes, and it's an opportunity for you to move your body. So if you're sat down, like unavailable, if you've got other things that you've got to do, then it's wise to maybe come back to this in the morning, or create some 10-15 minutes of time and space so that you can completely immerse in this experience. And the thing about conscious dance is that this is actually open to all levels of ability, disability, movement levels, where you are feeling in your energy. It's actually open to all. So I've had dancers or people who tune into these sessions, they feel, actually, I want to move from my chair, or I want to see what movements I can do in bed. So this is really just to kind of let you in on how this practice can find you. And the other thing also is that this is an opportunity for you to really kind of press pause on the inner critic, that inner dialogue, which may come in to the party of like, what are you doing? Don't do that. That's a bit crazy. Just like notice, as soon as you notice those thoughts, with love, just say, not for now. Let's just put you outside of this space and instead cultivate that inner cheerleader. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Why not? What do I have to lose? Honestly, and you have nothing to lose. Just remembering that we were born to move to music. We were born to dance. And that's what we're trying to kind of connect with on some level just now. And just to kind of maybe help you is like tap into that inner child, that childlike version of you, right? How would you be and feel as a 5-year-old? Like really kind of invite that playfulness here as well. And this is not about, unlike a technical dance or a fitness experience, this is not about following the leader. I'm guiding you with the music and my guidance, but it's not about following what I'm doing with my body. It's about, this is an opportunity. The beautiful thing is that you can follow your inner leader, follow that guidance from within. And sometimes there may be some distance with that. That's okay. Meeting yourself exactly where you're at right now is perfect. Shall we do this? Okay, so I want to invite you to, if you're feeling called to stand, just before we even put the music on, just spending a few moments just in our bodies, arriving more into our bodies. We've done quite a lot of talking and listening, so keeping it super simple, just taking some breaths in and out. So finding where your breath is at and starting to, as you breathe, just give your body a bit of a stretch, wriggle, jiggle, whatever, just to sort of like, right, okay, there's where my body is. And that's where my breath is. So we've got 3 songs we're guiding you through. And some deeper breaths in and out. Yes. Okay. So let's go with. All right. Yes. Thumbs up. We can hear this music. Amazing. So just keep that movement in your body, breathing in and out. And what we're going to do now. So one tip is, you're feeling, you're able to actually to close your eyes to allow you to deepen into this experience right now. What we're going to do is we're going to start moving our head. Feeling your head in all directions. And if you've got your hair tied up, I would invite you to maybe let that out. Your hair, and even if it is tied up, just get a sense of fluidity as you move, and ease any tension out. And then moving into your shoulders. How are your shoulders feeling right now? They're probably feeling quite tight. So moving your shoulders in all possible directions, and also breathing into your shoulders. And link your breath with your movements. Let's get into our elbows. Start to allow your elbows to explore a little bit more of your space. So whilst we have our screens in front of us, the space available to move is all around us. This is your opportunity to embody that sense of exploration through movement, and then hands and fingers. Really move your hands and fingers such that you can really feel them. How can you feel your hands and fingers right now? Do you need to kind of just shake them out a little bit in your space, or do you want to just stretch, really stretch and close your hands, or maybe allowing your hands and arms to expand like the butterfly. Yes, in and out, and so beautiful. Let's get into our big, beautiful part of our body. How can you move? How can you create some movement there? So maybe your spine, bringing your awareness, your breath, and movement to your spine. How can you move it to a little bit more freedom? Beautiful. And then body. The music changes, we still move. Just start to just get a sense of your hips, your spine. Moving your hips around in big circles. Or maybe just shimmying, giving your body, your bottom, a little bit of a shimmy. Now as this music changes, we're going to just travel down into our feet and start to connect to this rhythm. And as we allow our feet to maybe take us on a little bit of another tour of our space, I want you to invite you to start to release it out. So allow your body to go completely loose, like you're a rag doll. And allow your breath to do a few breaths of release as you go. This is the dance of release, where we're shaking any stuck energy that we may have now freed up through the first song. Just releasing it out in the most natural way. So if you're a dusty rug, your body's a whole dusty rug that needs a good shake out. Allow that. And through our breath, why it's so important and so powerful is that is a beautiful outlet for our stuck old energies. So have a play with that. Just demonstrate a few. You can do some in your own space that feels good. You want to invite a little bit of a bounce around. You want to imagine that you have this beautiful fire in the middle of your space, campfire, that sort of just letting it out, letting out the old to create space for the new. Beautiful. And just soften and start to deepen back into your body, back into your breath. And just keep your arms opened out, either up to the sky or just down by the side of you. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, and just softly moving. What we're going to do is we're going to invite in the power of gratitude into our movement, into our embodiment. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath in and out. And if you feel called to move your body and move your arms in your space, please do, as I invite you to call in a moment in your life that you are deeply grateful for. Take yourself back to that moment in your life that you have such gratitude for. Could be a big moment like getting married or seeing your child graduating. Or it could be something that you noticed this morning. Maybe it's laughter from your child. Or whatever it is that's coming to you, trusting it and actually stepping into that moment as if you are there. Maybe bringing your hands to your heart space to connect. Just really invite in all that you are experiencing in that moment. What do you see? What do you smell? How do you feel? Really invite that all in through you right now, as if you are there in this moment. Really allow that to expand. That feeling of gratitude. How can you breathe that in more? Maybe allowing a beautiful smile to be in your heart, on your face, as you truly embody. No rush to come out. I often guide my journeys to arrive to this place of being. Just really inviting us all to notice all that we are feeling and experiencing in our bodies right now. And it could be different to each and every one of us, but this is what it feels like to be in your body fully. That is possible for you where you are in your journey right now. What can you notice? What do you notice? How do you feel as you breathe deeply into your body? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to guide, to be with you all. And I trust in this medicine so deeply. And I invite you to trust whatever's coming up for you, whatever you're called to do, to trust that nudge, that instinct, to take just the next step for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Indika. That was so beautiful and so expansive. So just before we kind of say goodbye today, are there any last thoughts or messages you would like to, or you feel called to share with our audience today?
I would say what would I say? I would say that your portal to expansion is already inside of you. For some of you, you may not feel it yet, or you may have experienced it at some point, or you may be there already. But know that this is limitless. It's expansion. It's never ending. And that's the beautiful thing about this. You can always, there is always this opportunity to all in more expansion from the inside out. So with that in mind, with that in your heart, just what is that one little micro baby step that you can take that enables you to connect more deeply with yourself to that portal of expansion? And I'm pointing at my heart here. I always touch my heart here just to really feel that. And no matter where you are in your journey, it's still there. It's possible for you, but it does involve you taking that little step for yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So for everyone watching, if you have, you know, found today's session really expansive, really excited, if you've really connected with what Dr. Indika has been sharing, Indika, how is the best way for people to come and find you and experience your work and come and play in your world?
There's lots of ways, but I put all my stuff into one place. So hopefully you can then go there and join in whatever level, whether it's a DM to me on social media or whether it's joining one of my experiences. It will all be in this one link. So www.drindika.com//dance.
Amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I know that you have a free gift for everybody who's watching as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that before I let everyone go?
Yes. So that free gift will be in that link I just shared with you. So it's basically an invitation to join, to allow me to guide you through a beautiful session of embodiment. And yeah, I would love to hold space for you and others who join to, yeah, be able to tap into that power, that portal of expansion.
That's beautiful. Well, a huge thank you for being with us today, for your energy and your time and your beautiful practice. And a thank you to everybody watching, and I will see you all really soon. Bye bye for now.